Hello and welcome back to Hollow Acres. Today I am cleaning out the garden beds. I'm also putting gloves on the wrong hands. I'm using these because I can't find anything else, and a lot of the stuff in the beds is prickly wild lettuce and I don't want to be stabbed in the fingers. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I don't need to do a whole full explanation of what I'm doing. I'm pulling weeds and things that I didn't plant out of the beds so that I can plant new things. Now that the bed is all cleaned out, I'm going to go ahead and get started planting because I'm running out of daylight. I'm going to start with the brassicas for this bed. Now I am planting some lettuce. Specifically, this is butter crunch lettuce. I am planting it about 14-ish inches apart. That'll give it plenty of space to head up. Today is day 2 of getting these long beds built. The last few days have been raining, so everything's really moist. Nonetheless, we need to get these beds built. Now, difficult to tell as it is on account of all of the clay and all of the crap laying around. I have the frame, or the the posts, the main posts in the ground. My words aren't with me today, guys. I have the post in the ground for the bed. Now I need to get 2x4s, frame it out at the top, and that pretty much will be my stopping point because I don't have any of the lumber that I'm wanting to use for the beds, which is fresh cut lumber from logs. Now this bed is composed of 8 posts, or 8 edge pieces, or however the heck you want to look at it. I'm gonna call them posts. There's 8 on that side. Then we have a large gap in between because I want to be able to not only get myself through the main pathway that's going to be here, but wheelbarrows, or I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if we're doing a ramp that goes down because this is pretty steep right here. We got quite the drop off. That's probably about 4 feet. I don't know what's happening here. You see we got some stairs kind of doing its thing, but we're figuring it out. And then this bed is comprised of 10 posts. So these beds are not equal, which is fine. I'm not even trying to make them completely equal. The beauty of all of this is going to be the asymmetricality of all of it. So we're going to have a nice long bed that goes here. We got a break. Then we have another long bed. And then over here, I could continue. I could add another post, making it even 5 and 5 for both. However, I don't know what I'm doing here. I have wanted to put a seating spot here since we had trees here, and now that the trees have been down for almost a year, I don't know what to do. Now this is a very large space. It's long. Not so much very wide to where the road is going to be, so when the road comes through, we're about here. I might be able to pull it out a couple more inches, but really not so very far. Now I realize in this wide angle lens, it looks like a lot of space, and I guess that it is. I would estimate it's about 12 feet this way and probably 14 to 16 feet this way. It's a decent size, you know? Now right here, I could do a sitting space, I could do a small greenhouse, I can do a chicken enclosure area, which really wouldn't be very big, but it's bigger than the space they have now. I could do more beds, you know, vertical beds, but I really think that I'm gonna do a sitting spot here. And the reason for that is because I want to. I want a seating spot there, and a seating spot here, and a sitting spot there, and the greenhouse back there, and then a sitting spot by the greenhouse. One of my biggest mistakes that I have made in the last 5 years of me gardening is that I've had one sitting space, which is nice, okay? It's nice, I used it, I really did, but it was up there, and I have since moved it. The garden has been a space or a place of work. And I've always tried to make sure that I have a chair in the garden, or that I have a place to sit in the garden, something to do to bring me to the garden other than just work. And all of 2022 was just work. It was so much work. It was constantly me coming out, fixing things, doing things, but never really sitting to rest and take it all in. I did grow a lot of food in 2022, but I had constant issues, mainly with deer and vermin, and then also that it just looked like crap. And I got tired of looking at it. It looked so bad. So my husband Josh and I decided to dig everything up and completely redo it. So we got the tractor and we got in here and we started digging and leveling and moving around soil and trying to level certain spots out, because the entire left side of the garden, it's so steeped. It still is, but it's not as bad. And you know, we've been trying to figure everything out. So we've spent the last year redoing the garden, and it's it's frustrating for me to say that we only have 6 beds done, but a lot has happened this past year. I have set a deadline or a time frame for me to have this garden done. Now I really feel like if I set the deadline and give myself a time frame, I'm going to do what I can to make sure that most of it is done by that point. I never finish anything. It's just the way that it is. It's my personality. I don't finish things. I need to finish things. And I think I can do it. I really do. I just need to get all of these logs cut. Once I get all of the slices of the wood, I mean, I could get the whole garden together in a day. It really doesn't take that long to come together. But it's, one, having the materials prepared and ready to go. 2, having the proper weather to do it in. As long as it's not raining, it's fine. I can always bundle up. I would rather be cold than be hot. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. I've always said I'd rather be hot than cold. Rather be cold than, oh my goodness, who am I? Who am I? Yes, I like layers. I can layer on and then I can take layers off. So I need to get those logs cut so that I have the wood to do the beds with. And the reason that I chose to use logs and using my sawmill for the lumber versus buying lumber is 1, it's more sustainable, 2, it's more cost effective, and 3, it just looks better. It's rustic, that's for sure. It definitely does look rustic, but it's not like, you know, 2022 garden, 2021 garden, 2020 garden looked like crap because I used picket fence boards to build the beds. And though that's what I could afford at the time, and though it did get me through my first 3 years of gardening, it looked awful. And I like the aesthetic of this. I think it looks really nice. If I want, I can paint it. I'm probably not going to. Yes, I have to go through and replace some boards every now and again, but it's no big deal. Now this is going to be the seating space, I guess the right side or the left side. I really need to do zones already. This will be the seating spot. The level has to come up. A wall needs to be built here for the pool pump. The pool needs to be cool. The pool is disgusting, and that's not something we're going to get to right now. I need to have the garden done, then we can move on to the pool. I think that I'm going to be taking these horizontal boards down. I do like the look of it. It ties in nicely with the garden fence on that side, but because the garden fence above me up here is vertical and then this is horizontal, it clashes. It just doesn't look good. So I'm going to pull these down, use these boards for the bed, and then I will be putting vertical ugly boards up to block off the pool because, you know. Whoa, that's crazy. As for now, I'm done. I can't really go very much further. I need to find a bit to take off the screws on the horizontal boards up there. Why can't I think of words? I can't think of words today. What's going on? I need to pull that down, put it on the bed, and I'll be back with that then. Well, the bed's done, and it's been about a week or two. My footage was corrupted. I want to finish off this video right, so let me show you what I did. Here is one bed. It is filled. The soil that I used for this was the soil and wood chips that has been decomposing at the end of my driveway for the last year and a half or so. What I will end up doing is coming through with compost and topping off the rest of the bed. Then I will end up taking probably 4-inch wide slats and finishing off the top of the bed to tidy it up and make it look much nicer. Excuse the mess, we already know what it is here. It's messy. I started moving the wood chips as they've been sitting here. It gets heavy and I can only do so much, and then I'm like, oh, this sucks. Here's the big rake that I've been using. So we got this lovely bed done. We have a break in between the beds, and then I didn't finish this one because I need one more long piece and I just don't have anything the size that'll fit. Here's this bed. It is definitely not symmetrical. It like widens here in the middle. It gets really wide and then it thins out. And of course right now there's wood in there that's not gonna stay in there. You can really see from this angle. It's got a fat belly. On the back side of the beds, I need to level this out. This is going to be the walking space. Right here between these trees, I am doing a sitting space. But before we move on to what I need to do today, which would be the archway, let me show you what I did a few days ago, I think. Today's the day that we tackled this strip behind me. I'm gonna move all of the crap. I'm gonna weed eat. I'm going to level it out a bit. I'm not going for perfection here. And then I have a bunch of logs up in my archway that are preventing me from using the archway. So I'm gonna use that to frame this in. And the plan for this is to put trees and fruiting bushes. I have blueberries, I'm gonna get more, and also flowers in this area. Just drop it. Yeah, good. And here is the finished product. It's not too bad looking. I'm going to lay a thick layer of cardboard and then put compost and soil on top of that. Okay, back that up maybe just a little bit. I'm going to dig holes, plant trees and bushes, then lay the cardboard and put the compost and the stuff on top of it. I'm thinking I can fit 3 trees and 3 or 4 blueberry bushes. I have 1 blueberry bush. I need to get 3 more. What I really want to put here is some citrus trees because I don't have any. Up at the top of the house, which you can't see, it's way over there, we have 3 apple trees, 2 plum trees, 1 peach tree because the other one died, and 1 pear tree because the other one died, but I have a bunch of little baby pear trees. Sometime this year, as we get further back into the woods, let me pan around. As we get further back there, I'm going to establish an orchard area. I don't know where that's going to be. I'm going to have to clear out quite a few trees for that to happen, but we're going to get there. But my focus right now, my number 1 task is to finish this garden. It should have been done already, and it isn't. And it's life, it's what it is. I need more first and second cuts to finish off the fencing there. I also need to put the door on. It's laying back there. I have the door, it's built, it's made, but I need to cement the post that's going to go in the ground. This is the bed my husband built me. It's really, really tall. He says that it's best because I won't have to bend over and hurt my back, which is like my biggest issue. I have a really bad back. I just think it's too tall. I mean, it's very nice, you know, very nice that he did that. It's just too tall. This is starting to look really nice. Since the clay is moist, I think I want to go in and try to carve some more of this here, add a stair. Need to do a little bit better job there with that. And then I'm going to be putting bricks to line here and complete my stairway because it got washed out. And we are now at the archway. Now on today's agenda, I need to dig and plant. It's not really plant, really, it's placing. I need to put posts in the ground. I need to finish this archway because I'm going to be starting loofahs probably in the next week, I think. And this is going to be my loofah archway. I might put some beans too, but like definitely loofahs right there. And this is my stopping point for today. I did this whole staircase thinking the camera was on, but it was not. What are you gonna do? It's beautimous. Now it is supposed to rain all day tomorrow, so all of the rain will really pack in all of this clay. When it stops raining, I'll come out here and I'll use my little tamper thing here and I'll make sure that it gets tamped down real good. So hopefully this time it doesn't get washed away. That's the plan. Of course, with it raining tomorrow, it's likely that this is going to be washed away. I was able to get 3 posts in the ground with the help of Emma and Landon, really Landon supervised. So my next step will be connecting them at the top, and then I think that I want to put 1 post in between each post. So I think in total, 2 on each side, in total 4. Additional post. I want stability. Now these trees or posts or whatever you want to call them, they are in the ground probably a good 2.5, almost 3 foot. The one in the middle on this side is 3 foot down, and I did that because at the end was so jagged. It works, it's stable, it's in there. My plan this year is to grow loofahs on the archway. So it needs to be not only tall because loofahs dangle, and I still want to be able to walk through it without ducking. So it needs to be tall and stable. Now I also need to go through and do a bunch of weeding because a bunch of weeds are growing everywhere. 'Tis the time of year, it's wet, and then whenever it dries out, everything grows. And it's not a bad thing, it's wonderful. I'm so excited for spring. Well, I've got nothing else, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and as long as it has taken to record and edit and get this video together. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and if you're not already, consider subscribing to Hollow Acres. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.